More and more people are starting to wake up, but the awakening impulse can also easily be hijacked. The moment one embarks on the journey towards awakening, all kinds of resistance and forces emerge to put the seeker back into place and to sleep. All esoteric traditions have conveyed and pointed out these traps on the path toward awakening. They are lessons that test the sincerity of the seeker's efforts to cross the threshold. This resistance comes from the inner battle of ego versus soul, all kinds of suppressed and unconscious shadow aspects, the wounded inner child, and traumas we have buried deep under the surface of the ego personality. We cover it up with this false persona we most often mistake for the true self. There's a temptation to engage in spiritual bypassing to avoid deeper inner work, intellectualize the process without embodying it, or blame others and the outside world for our issues. We can also abuse truth-seeking and activism as a buffer and avoidance to look within and engage in the work. Hidden forces tagging into our wounds and shadows tempt us to externalize our pain and blame the world, our partners or ex-partners or anyone else who becomes the target of our unconscious projections. We can fall into the trap of psychological splitting, oversimplified black and white thinking, and get trapped in the occult divide and conquer agenda. Most often, we mistake awakening for a mental process of gathering information alone. The vast majority of people project their pain, anxiety, and unconscious fear, jealousy, and envy onto others. Anytime you get triggered and blame someone else for your feelings and issues, justifying your triggers, you feed occult forces known to all the esoteric traditions. This is a war on multidimensional levels, for we are multidimensional beings. Hence, the work we are called to engage in during this time of transition must occur on all levels: physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual. The fourfold approach, as I call it. What most people do not understand is that the moment you want to truly awaken, find your true self, and engage in this work, there will be immense unconscious resistance within you, with all kinds of excuses and rationalizations telling yourself why you can't do it right now. But there will never be the right time to do this work, as if the process of awakening and the work and effort needed is up to your convenience and preferred schedule of how and when to awaken, like planning a vacation. As if you need to take time off life. No, the only time is now, fully engaged in life. Many people will need to wait a few more incarnations until their soul is ripe enough to answer the call that overrides the inertia of the conditioned personality. And that's fine. There's no judgment in that. There are also occult forces trying to distract you, tempt you, and vector you away from the work to keep you in chains and asleep while you dream of awakening, staying in the comfort of your personality slumber. Integrity, sincerity, determination, courage, decisiveness, will, effort, humility, vulnerability, focus, and dedication combined with unbending faith and trust are the attributes of the spiritual warrior necessary to engage in the great work during this time of transition. We also need others to do this work together. There's only so much self-work we can do by ourselves, for we all have our subjective blind spots, tunnel vision, and mechanical self-defeating patterns we're not aware of. It is not enough to be around just like-minded people, but people who are also engaged in the same work. As Gurdjieff said, the majority of people find many excuses not to work on themselves. They are in a complete prison of their weaknesses. Understand me right, I do not need followers. I am rather interested in finding the real warriors of the new world.